Chilliwack School Board Vice Chair David Swankey joining chillTV for an overview of the upcoming school year. To say that you have had a busy summer is an understatement, but we are getting into the school year. And I like the motto, one heart, one mind. As we're getting into this, what are the protocols? Because a number of parents are still trying to bring in all this information, and a lot of it is hitting them and having to make a decision of what to do and how to feel confident in having their kids go back to school.
Yep. Absolutely, Don, and thank you for having me, and thank you for the question. The protocols that are in place are guided by the BC CDC and the WorkSafe guidelines, and they've been operationalized across the district, but also at each school. So what you're going to find is that the guidelines are contextualized by the elementary versus the middle versus the secondary setting. The best source of information for parents looking to understand what does that very first week look like in my classroom, in my school, is to be reaching out to their administrator and to their classroom teacher and connecting with them to get that full picture.
There's a really incredible video that is up on the school board website that Rohan put together, the school superintendent. Does everyone feel comfortable with that? That it's answered a lot of the questions?
Everyone at the board or everyone throughout the community?
Well, throughout the community. I mean, the board obviously will be getting the feedback.
Yep. Certainly, I think that it's fair to say it's entirely understandable that there's concern, there's anxiety within the community. We hear it from parents, we hear it from, just in general, it's in our inbox, it's phone calls that we're receiving. What we're trying to do is ensure that we're having conversations that address the specific circumstances that are causing anxiety within, say, a student's circumstance. So we're wanting to make sure that they're having the conversation and that there's some clarity. What is the source of the concern, and then how is it that we can alleviate that? And we recognize that it'll take some time to ensure that there's a clear understanding of what the protocols and procedures are, and that parents and students feel safe ultimately with what September brings.
Also, let's bring up teachers. I know Terry Mooring, president, of the BCTF, has expressed her concerns for teachers. Are they ready? Are school boards ready? There's also a call that came out of Vancouver over the last couple of days. What about delaying the school year by a month? Was that ever an option, or was that ever discussed by the Chilliwack board?
It certainly wasn't an option for the board. The question of timeline was determined by the ministry. You'll, I'm sure, recall that there was an announcement after the initial plan was put forward by Rob Fleming and the Ministry of Education, announcing the orientation week. So that would be the 8th and 9th. We have staff back in our buildings to orient them with the procedures. The 10th and 11th would be Thursday, Friday. There's an orientation for students. And then the Friday and transitioning into Monday the 14th, you're going to see regular in-class instruction under the new protocols. Now, as far as the delay, it wasn't an option for us, and as such, it isn't something we've been in a position to consider.
And a lot of that, all that information, by the way, is up on the Chilliwack School Board website. On a slightly lighter note, and we were talking about this off the air, was and still is watching the construction and the rebuild of 3 schools, and of course the big one, which is near and dear to my heart, is the art school. Everything is still, even with COVID and even with the craziness of the summer, everything seems to be on schedule. I hope it is.
The last update we received from our facility staff was that we're both on target for timeline and on budget. So we're very happy on both accounts, and certainly seeing the cohort launching this fall to support Imagine High with its opening next year. And then, of course, both Stitos Slalom's eventual opening in the years ahead.
And that first school district meeting, I would assume the second week of September?
That's correct. I believe it's going to be September 15th. And we're looking at conducting business both online and in person. So we're going to embrace and work within the WorkSafe protocols, but we're also recognizing the need to ensure face-to-face interaction and to ensure that we as members of the board have confidence in the protocols put in place by the district.
David Swankey, the Vice Chair of the Chilliwack School Board, thank you for joining us and answering the questions.
Thank you very much for your time, Don.